What's up, Vinyl Community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live as always from the Man Cave. So, as you guys know, the frequent videos kind of cut off let's call it about 6 months ago, where I was, usually hitting you guys every week or two. And, kind of come down to taking a couple months off, 2 or 3 months off. And then, I got a lot of questions from you guys asking where I'd been, and a lot of other accounts were getting questions. When some other accounts were starting to get questions about whether, not they knew where I'd been, then it was like, okay, I had to address you guys. And that's when I let you guys know about the updates in my life, health updates, my daughter playing softball, all of this. And I let you guys know that, hey, it's not going to be as frequent, but I'll come to you whenever I have a chance. Whenever I have a chance, I'll do it. All right, so real quick, I'll hit you guys off with a couple of updates on that regard. Number one, okay, so one of the problems that I had without going too far, because this is a vinyl channel, one of the problems that I had was potentially cardiac related, potentially heart related. All right, so I went to a cardiologist, got a referral to a cardiologist, did a sleep study, did a stress test, EKGs, the whole nine. Guys, last week I got a clean bill of health. Doctor says everything looks great. He says everything looks great. Matter of fact, he was very enthusiastic about it. Now he only wants to see me once a year just to keep up. So, great stuff. Still have the anxiety thing to deal with. Never had anxiety issues until I was in my 30s. But, hey, better anxiety issues, which I think I can help control, than heart issues. So, figured you guys would like to know that little tidbit. I didn't even start this video intending to tell y'all that, but I don't know. Wanted to let you guys know. I know so many of you do care. Next up, my daughter got her first in-game hit last week in a softball game. First hit, very exciting. So proud of her. It's amazing stuff. And then last night it's softball, baseball. It's one of those sports where the scorecard doesn't always tell the truth. Because if you look at it, my daughter went 0 for 3 last night, if you look at it. But she put 3 killer swings on 3 killer balls. She just hit them in the wrong place. She got tagged out all 3 times, but knocked in a run. And guys, she was so upset and so down on herself. But I had to remind her that she put 3 good swings on 3 good balls. She knocked in a run. That's all you can do. At the end of the day, there are a lot of players in the Hall of Fame that hit 270 for their career. That's succeeding less than 3 out of 10 times. That's the thing about baseball. The shit is hard. It's supposed to be hard. Yeah. Hard makes it great. It just does. I love the game. But anyway, enough about that. This is a vinyl channel again. The only reason you guys are even seeing me today is because my washer machine went a couple of days ago, and somebody has to be here when the repairman comes to fix it. So I had to take a fucking day off of work waiting for the repairman, and the repairman didn't leave until just recently. So I had to eat an entire day for a washing machine repairman. But anyway, might as well take advantage of it. Figured I'd come to you guys and talk to you for a minute. Cheers to everybody on this Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever. By the time you see this, cheers. Might as well go ahead and have a beer. I'm not going anywhere now. I had told my boss I'd come in late, but my normal shift knocks off at 5:30. It's almost 4 o'clock now, so hey. Anyway. Topic of this video, nothing fancy. I just figured I'd show you guys 5 major records that I have picked up lately that haven't been on the channel yet. Simple, short, sweet, to the point. It's an opportunity to come in here and talk to you guys. I hope everybody's got a chance to go through their RSD stuff. I haven't had a chance to even pull my RSD records out of the bag, if I'm being honest with you. The bag that I bought them in, they're still there. So, but I'm going to play a couple, hopefully, before my wife and daughter get home. But 5 pretty major records that I've scored recently coming up, starting now. First on, if you guys aren't familiar with the discography of Curtis Amy, you should get familiar. Of course, Katanga, You know, Mustang's a great one, but the Pacific Jazz, of course. So Curtis Amy tipping on through Pacific Jazz. What's cool about this one is it's an OG on red vinyl. Splat out. Isn't that beautiful? Something like an OG on red vinyl. Wow. Curtis Amy on tenor, Roy Brewster on valve and trombone, Ron Ayers on vibes, John Huston on piano, Bob Whitlock on bass, and Lawrence Marable on drums. It is a killer record. I've come to love absolutely everything Curtis Amy. If you guys see it, time to jump on. Awesome stuff. The next couple I picked up from Dylan at Noble Records last Friday. Okay, so on RSD, Dylan, of course, doesn't participate in RSD, but he always has killer used stock. Awesome Holy Moly Wall stuff. He had just got that huge ass jazz collection, you know, that whole chestnut. And I went up there, and on the super Holy Moly Wall was Akabulan, Land of the Blacks. I've wanted that record forever. Original pressing, Strata East. A lot of you might not be familiar with it, but if you're not, get it into your life. Big price on it, but fair. I just didn't have that money that day. So I'm like, okay, hardly anybody knows what this is. Let me hustle for a week. I'll come back. I'll get it. So Friday rolls around, get off work early, grab some records for trades, run up there thinking I'm going to get this bastard. All right, somebody beat me to it. And that somebody is one of my good friends, Ed. You guys have heard me talk about Ed. Ed, you beat me to it, you bastard. Cheers. Enjoy. You ever want to sell it? Holla at your boy. Congratulations. I have no doubt it sounds amazing. So, anyway, you guys, I've told you this before. I'm not one to sit there and cry about my L's. Whatever. I've got way more W's than I have L's. Way more. So I've got a room full of W's in here. There's a whole lot of W's. So I don't sit back and cry over a few L's. I did go ahead and grab 2 off that wall today, that day, because I was already there. I drove an hour. Might as well get a couple of records. I'm there, and Dylan's like, hey, man, that record that you wanted sold or whatever, do you still want to do this deal? I'm like, yeah, I'm all the way up here. Let's do it. So got some good trade credit. Grabbed poked a couple off the wall. Number one, okay, this one right here, I'm going to have to ask Dylan. It looks remarkably like the exact same copy I owned before, but I'm not positive. Because the exact copy I owned before I traded to Dylan. And it looks exactly like it. So I'm not positive. Sometimes you just have a feeling about your old records. But I bought it years ago. Album cover's awesome. Heard so many things about the artist. And I put it on and I just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't for me. So I'm like, okay. And at the time, Dylan was really feeling, you know, the stranger, you know, kind of sort of jazz, funk, psychedelic type shit. He still is. So I'm like, okay. And I traded it to him. Then a couple of years went by, and all of a sudden I started digging this stuff, and it started making sense. And I'm like, damn, I regret getting rid of that. That was such a clean copy. And it's a rare one to come around. Not exactly that expensive, but it's rare. But anyway, it was sitting up there on the wall, and again, I'm not positive, but I think this might be the exact one. I think Dylan might have poked it from his collection, and I think that I reacquired my old one because it is fucking clean. Sun Ra, nothing is. Guys, for starters, the first thing that should jump off to you is that they kick-ass album cover. It's just a fucking badass album cover. I love it. I'm not going to read the entire lineup to you on a Sun Ra record, but it's ESP disc. Sun Ra, one of the most prolific artists in any genre of music ever. That's facts. This is a live record from 1970. And anytime you can get your hands on a Sun Ra ESP disc is a great day. Phenomenally clean, just a little dust. But again, that's how I remember the last one being. I'm going to have to ask Dylan, because I'm pretty sure that I just reacquired my old copy, which is great because I was in love with the copy. The music just didn't make sense to me at the time. But man, what a great record. Only time and appreciation has taught me that. But yeah, I played it for Josh the other day. Josh at Take Me to Birch, you know, you guys see him on my channel, and he's like, "Yeah, not for me. I don't think I've gotten that far." I'm like, "Yeah, I know you haven't, buddy. Yeah, you listen to 95% country music. I know you haven't made it to some now." No worries, it takes time. Next up, Dylan has several black jazz OG classics sitting up there on that wall, and this one is one I used to have, not this exact copy, but also traded just because I got a chance to get a bigger dog. That's it. You guys know me. If I have a chance to get a bigger dog, I'll take it, and then I'll go back and I'll get the small dogs later. But this one's gonna probably be my forever copy in case unless I find something cleaner, which, you know, this one's pretty clean. But it's Gene Russell, Talk to My Lady on Black Jazz, and it is a OG promo. I love promos. I don't know. There's nothing. God. Is there anything that special about them? No, I just love them. I love them. If I see a promo label on a record that I think I'll like, I mean, I'm almost positive to get it. Great stuff. So happy to have it. The Black Jazz label is, you know, wasn't around that long. Not that many releases. But guys, they are re-releasing a lot of this stuff. Henry Franklin on bass, Calvin Keys guitar, Dugu on drums, Charles Weaver on conga, Eddie G on tambourine, and Gene Russell on Fender Rhodes and Steinway pianos. They have basically started reissuing basically the entire Black Jazz catalog. So there's a means and a ways to get these. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I bought the reissue of this one. So great stuff. Very happy to have it, and for a great price. And there's a couple of more Black Jazz up there on that wall. So Dylan, if you're watching, I know you're not. You probably haven't watched the tunes from the Man Cave video in years. But if you are, I'm coming back for the other ones. So next up is one that, speaking of Dylan from Noble Records, he saved this one for me. This one was saved. I'm gonna get so many snarky, shitty comments in the comments on this one. I know I am. I know, and whatever. I'll deal with them as they come. All right, so it's Dexter Gordon, Our Man in Paris, and it's a OG mono. Okay, so here's what happened. Boy Ed traded this one to me. Is it a trade or a sale? I can't remember. It was either a trade or a sale. It's been a little while ago. But we made the swap at work as we normally do. All right, well, it was a hot day that day. And there's not really an environment in my job where I can bring records in and just leave them. There's not. So I had to leave it in the car. Just didn't have a choice. That's all there is to it. And I don't live 2 minutes from work. I live 30 minutes from work. So I couldn't drive it home, drop it off, and come back. I couldn't do it. And the only way mine and Ed's exchange has worked is he works right up the road from me. So we just meet up. So they had always been good before, so I assumed they'd be good this time. Well, this time it wasn't. I don't have any pictures to show you guys, but when I got it home, this bad boy was warped bad. Bad. Not, you know, the heat. For some reason, the heat just caught it that day. Ed and I have done, I can't even tell you, dozens of exchanges. I've never had a problem with that. And hotter days, by the way. On hotter days. But for some reason that day, she wasn't so forgiving. Ed, I don't even know if you know this story. But my boy Dylan has got a, you know, flattening type machine or whatever. And plus he knows some tricks of the trade. So I basically took this to him, basically asking him, could he save it? And I'm basically like, okay, she's yours, whatever. If you can save it and you want to sell it, then cool. You know, whatever, but it deserves better than this. So Dylan put some magic to it. He'd have to tell you what all he did to it. And by the time he got through with it, not so bad, right? Not so bad at all. He basically, he saved this thing for me. He did. He saved it. It's not perfect. It'll never be perfect, but it's playable. I'll be able to listen to this. And I found him, me and Tree from A Supreme Love, found Dylan a clean one of this at Papa Jazz in Columbia. So he's got a forever copy, cleaner than this, and he returned this one to me. All he asked was, the $20 that he asked me, that he gave me for it that day, and the only reason was because it was beat. And I got it back. So Dylan, again, I'm pretty sure you don't watch, but if you are, thank you. You saved this bad boy for me, and I love this record. It's a phenomenal album. It's Dexter, Bud Powell, Pierre Michelot, and Kenny Clark. It's amazing. And yeah, again, I know so many of you are going to be like, "Don't leave your record in the heat." Well, what would you do? What would you have me done? Quit my job? Tell my boss, "Hey, I got a record I can't leave in the sun. I got to quit." Come on, guys. I did the best I could. Did the best I could. It just didn't work out that day. All right. Finally, my find of, what year is this? Yeah, my find of 2023 so far probably will not be surpassed. Maybe surpassed. Who knows? I find so much shit. But she's sitting right here, and it sounds amazing, and I've enjoyed it already a couple of times, and could not be more happy with it. It's one that I've been after forever. That's all I got. Grant Green, Green Street. As you guys can see, the cover's nice and clean. Grant Green, Ben Tucker, Dave Bailey. Forgot how I keep these down. Splat Owl, nothing like an OG Blue Note label. Nothing like it at all. And it's one of arguably the hardest to find Grant Green title, I come to find. Pretty much everybody I know who's a serious jazz collector has told me the same thing. This one was easy to find, or, Feeling the Spirit was easy to find, and Street of Dreams was easy to find, and even I've had people, Idle Moments was easy to find, but man, Green Street was a bitch. And I found that same thing, but my boy DJ Parry, Marcus, hooked me up. So, could not be happier. Again, if I shoot a best of 2023 video, my favorite finds of 2023 video, because I didn't do one last year because of just stuff. If I shoot one, don't be shocked if this pops up number one. So, it's going to at least be on the video. That much I can tell you. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a couple of updates. Let you guys know everything was, all good in the hood. Show you guys a few recent big ones. I mean, I've gotten way more stuff than that, by the way. Those are just the big ones. Might as well just do all killer, no filler video for you guys. And, hey, everything is great. Hope you guys are all doing well. In terms, okay, I might as well touch on one more thing before I leave you. The Tunes Tag 2023, the Jazz Vinyl Tag, has been a bust this year. Let's just call it what it is. I put it out. Low level of interest. I think I've gotten 8 videos, which is a sharp contrast. I think I got 30 plus last year. I think I got 20 something the year before, and it's been out for like almost 2 months now, I think. And if I've only gotten 8 by now, that's probably all I'm going to get. So here's what we're going to do is the next video I do for you guys, I'm going to just go ahead and throw those 8 names in a hat. And one of you, as long as you don't have it, I'll send this one to you free of charge on the Man Cave. Because I have 2 copies because I'm an idiot. But in terms of will I keep the Tunes Tag going, I don't know. I'm just being honest. I have a list prepped for next year already. I've already got a list ready. So I'll probably go ahead and do that one. But in terms of will I keep it going after that, I don't know. Let's see what let's see what the next level of participation is like. Oh man, mixing several words there. All right. Anyway, so hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hope everybody. I mean, it's Tuesday. It's the second Monday of the week. How great can it honestly be? Getting ready to throw on a record or two before my wife and daughter get home, just because, hey, you might as well make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And today is one of those days where it just got shit on by my washer. So, cheers to you all. Till next time, till next video. Dropping that to you guys.